Hi, I'm Bernadette Hill, continuous improvement expert and host of the Savage Simplicity podcast. Welcome to Storytellers, where I talk with smart women who are navigating relatable, sometimes deeply personal challenges through finding the joy in simplicity. So if you're looking to turn your strengths into a success story, then be savage about reclaiming your time. Join us, listen in, and become a part of the Savage Simplicity movement. 4 years ago, Priya Venkatesan was a stay-at-home mom with no prior work experience in the United States. As an immigrant, and after a 16-year career break, Priya knew her return-to-work journey wouldn't be so simple. Luckily, she was able to leverage her resourcefulness and knack for networking, and today, Priya is a business systems analyst with one of the most respected universities in the country. I'm also honored to call Priya my friend. In this episode, Priya lays out her roadmap for reclaiming her career as we discuss work, worth, and the returner experience. Welcome to the podcast, Priya.
Thank you, Bernadette. It's nice to be here, and I appreciate you giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
You're welcome. The reason I asked you on the pod today is because I have been impressed and I really admire your work ethic. And I know that story was not may not be the normal journey somebody goes through. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your experience coming back to work after being off for a period of years. Of course, your childhood and how you were able to overcome the challenges with, coming to a new country, becoming a mom here, and then putting your career on the back burner to raise a family, and then finally coming back to work. So my first question here is, let's start at the beginning. Tell us about your childhood in India.
Oh, sure. I'm basically from southern part of India, South India, and this state called Tamil Nadu, where my hometown is E03, and I went to my school, college, and everything. My education was done in the town of E03, and so I grew up with my family, my mom, dad, and my sister, and all my uncles, all my extended family. They live in E03 and Chennai, so split, and so I grew up there. That's where I grew up, and then my childhood was very fantastic because my parents gave me so much freedom, and they let me do what I wanted to do. When I asked them I have to move out after I finished my college, I wanted to work in Chennai. I go to Chennai and start working there while I was completing my Masters of Computer Applications. Through distance education means that you don't go to college entire time. We just go on weekends and work during the week. So that's what I did when I was in my early 20s. My first job was as a trainer in a computer institution, and then while I was working there, I also got my and moved to a financial institution called ICICI Bank, where that was my first major full-time work that I did, and I moved to another state called Andhra Pradesh. Hyderabad is where I was working for almost close to 5 years. And while I was working there, I got married and relocated to the United States. That's my background.
So, growing up in India, did you have early aspirations to get your master's in computer applications, or did something else lead you there?
Not at all. My computer science was not even my. I didn't have aspiration to be a computer. In anything in computer science. I actually wanted to be a journalist. But however, I did not reveal that to my dad or my mom because I grew up watching. I was very into political science. And the one thing I could say is when I was in school, I didn't have an option to choose political science. There was no subject called political science. I was very interested in geography, history, journalism, but there was no option to choose that as an elective or any subject like you say here in 11th and 12th grade. Then I took pure science because most of my family members are all doctors. Oh. So my father kind of pushed me, like, you should probably at least go to a medicine, related field, healthcare field. But I was not even interested. Though I was interested in biology, I did not like math or physics or chemistry. And then somehow I ended up doing computer science as my bachelor's. I did not go for any science major. So computer science I ended up doing, but I liked it. As I started studying it, I liked it. I majored in computer science and then went into master's doing computer science, computer applications.
So how did your past experiences, and I know you mentioned your mom and your dad being having strong ideas about what you should do when you grew up. How did those experiences and your youthful experiences in India shape the skills and motivation you were going to need later on in order to kind of get back into the workforce?
That's a great question. So, just my childhood and the cultural background that we have, as grew up as Indian family, is I think most of Asian families, we do what as parents wish. We don't really, at least now the times have changed, but. And then I wanted to be a journalist or wanted to work for a major publication, magazine or network. My ideal journalist ideal is someone named Pranay Roy. He's a big time press, he's a media person. He started a channel called New Delhi Television. I used to watch his program on the public channel in India. So I kind of, idolized him a lot. And then I love reading newspapers and magazines. So I think that those aspirations at that time in childhood is coming back to me now, because as you know, I do a lot of outreach, not only in work, but also in personal life too, because I'm in various groups, support groups, community organizations. I'm like that everywhere. And that is coming back to me now. Because I took a break in between, and the childhood dreams I think it's showing up in my communication skills, or the way as you talked about my work ethic, everything is showing up. So yes.
You've also been a community builder here at UC Davis in your role here, and I think you've been here 3 years, and yet you've built quite a network for yourself, which shows that you've not only learned some of the technical skills you needed in order to be successful in your career, but you also got people skills, and you've also got you love to collaborate with others, and that's something I've experienced working with you. So you talked a little bit about coming to the United States. So let's move past your background and your upbringing. How old were you? And where were you working at the time, or what was your professional career like when you moved to the United States? And what was the situation that precipitated that move?
Oh yes, I was as I earlier mentioned, I was working in Hyderabad. It's a city, and I was working as a project analyst in ICICI Bank, and that was my first full-time job, you can say that. When I was working there, I got married. So it was an arranged marriage, so I had to move where my husband is. So at the time, my husband was working in the United States. So because of that, marriage was the main purpose of relocating to United States. I moved to California in 2005. So 2005 I got married, and 2006 is when I moved here in the United States. And so because of the move, I had to resign my job that I was in. So that was my end of the career. I took because I didn't think twice, because you get married and wherever your husband is, I thought I'll come here and work, get into work here later. When I relocated here, I was on a H4. It's a dependent visa. I know a lot of them are not familiar with visa, immigration and stuff. So I was my husband at the time had a H1B, so I was an H4, it's a dependent visa. So I could not work as soon as I came in. So that was another reasons that I couldn't work. Mm-hmm. So you have to get your own H1B or wait for your employment ID, green card and everything. You need to have a employment validation to work here.
So 2005, you come here, and you have a master's, you've got a career. You have you're now in an arranged marriage, and you moved to the States because your husband was here, and you couldn't work right away because immigration law says that you didn't have the right visa initially, and so you ended up being a stay-at-home mom. For how many years did you stay at home?
16 years. So and then after 2006. I got my EAD in between around, I believe, 2009 or somewhere, because the green card application was already in the process. So because of green card application, I got employment, EAD it's called. I was able to work. I could work. Then I got pregnant with my first child. So that again made me stay at home, and I just I couldn't work, so I took care of the family. So it's went on, and just like that, I've dedicated myself to taking care of the family. However, when I was doing that, I was also volunteering with my kids' school. So I was a room parent every other year, and volunteered in a lot of school events. So involved in PTA.
And then when did you decide to come back to work, and what events led you to that decision, and how you prepared to come back to work?
Sure. So in 20, let me remember the year. So 2018 is when I started thinking, after my birth of my second child. She was around very little, like 3 or 4, and I started thinking maybe at least we should start working part-time. So and then I started thinking, and at the same time I didn't want to leave the kids with dad, or just not be able to provide them. So I was looking for a part-time job in the evening time. I could find only one part-time position near my hometown, and it was very close to home, so like a 5-minute drive, and I worked like a 5-hour shift. It was a hourly. I did not want to completely go to a tech field or any because I had a break. I did not have the confidence to apply for something that I thought I didn't have the skill at that time, because I was not working. Who's going to hire me? Those questions came up in my head, and also I was in a situation that I couldn't work what I wanted to do, or in an environment that didn't let me do things that I want to do. So I chose to work in the evening, prepare everything for the kids, and get dinner set, everything done, and go in the evening, 5-minute drive, and then work till 5 to 10 p.m. and come back home. So that was my, I was flexible. That was my time to work. So I started like that. And then eventually, certain things happened in my life. That was a life-changing event. I had to go through a divorce. So that pushed me to come back to full-time workforce, and also motivated me I need to empower myself and my kids, start doing things on my own, being independent. And that, again, I started applying for various organizations and jobs, companies, and then I came to know there's something called returnship. Returnship is where, like internship or apprenticeship, folks who have taken a long career break, they could apply for returnship, so you don't have too many rounds of interviews. A lot of tech companies provide returnships, like major tech companies. They do have, if you search for returnship, they do have returnships like every year. Like Wells Fargo, I know Wells Fargo has something called a Glide program. Even recently I saw their Glide program is open. There's a deadline for 1 month. Whoever wants to apply for the Glide program, they can apply, and they train you. They train you on the job, so you don't have to have those imposter syndrome that I'm not good at this. How can I do this? So Wells Fargo's Glide program is one of those programs. I did apply for the program, but I went to like 3 rounds of interview and didn't get selected. But that's okay. That's an experience that I got. And there are several other returnships in various tech companies, and nowadays even banks. Bank of America has a returnship program. Deloitte has a returnship program. A lot of major companies. Yeah.
Sorry. So now you're out of work for 16 years, or you're staying at home, not out of work necessarily, because the work of a stay-at-home mom is quite extensive. So you were staying at home for 16 years, but that meant that your professional skills and acumen from when you worked before start to fade a little bit. And so it sounds like you got ready, you got a little bit of work experience in terms of, at least applying for something, getting out of the house, getting into the routine of working again, and then decided to actually go back for a professional role. In which case, this is the first time I'm hearing about returnships, so something like an internship, but for people who are returning after being out of the workforce for a while. I'm so excited to hear about that, and I know my listeners will be as well, because as you know, and as you've just expressed, being a woman who takes a step back from her career as aspirations in order to raise a family, it's a prioritization that we do, right? There is a little bit of bittersweet no matter what choice we make. And so just knowing that there is something out there for others who, no matter how long you're out of work, if you've got the right motivation, that there are organizations out there to help you get back to work, especially after your kids get a little bit older and you want to get back into the workforce. Now, you also mentioned going through a divorce, and that does precipitate a lot of women who have stayed at home to raise families getting back into the workforce. Once you started to go through that experience and started to apply, what is the road that led you here to UC Davis?
Yes. So You talked about iReady. It's actually iRelaunch. That's a non-profit organization called iRelaunch. It's an organization where they provide resources for not just women, for anyone, irrespective of gender, who have taken a career break and want to return to the full-time work or part-time work, whatever you wish. And they have a job board there. They have resources to how to get back, to use, how to build your resume, and they have their own career coach, several resources. And they also hold a conference every 6 months, like a job fair. So you can register for the conference. You can attend a 3-day conference virtually. That's how I came to know about returnships, because I relaunch, and there's another organization called Women Back to Work. It's called WBW. It's in the Bay Area, and now there are it's also called Moms Project. There's another organization. So these things, I started knowing about these things because of LinkedIn. Another important thing I want to say is, sorry if I'm going off topic, but LinkedIn is one of those, the job search market was completely changed. 20 years ago I worked, right? So 16 years ago, it was applying through, there was a newspaper in India called Hindu. That's how I came to know about the job I worked. I used to apply for the jobs through checking out the newspapers classified section. They'll put an ad like there's a vacancy here. So that's how I used to apply. That's how I got the job in ICICI Bank, looking at the advertisement for vacancies and stuff. So when I came back to work, when I started looking there, I had to learn myself how to use LinkedIn, create a profile, and I started browsing LinkedIn every day. So then I have to learn on LinkedIn to how to search for jobs and vacancies and how to connect and network with folks. That's something new. That's another skill by itself. And so those things are then I relaunched as an organization where I attended their job fair, and I connected with so many of them, women who are going through similar situations like me. And so I connected with them, and I heard few of the panel members. I attended a panel in the conference, and I heard few of the panel members say, I'm a single mom, I'm divorced, I'm working for Meta and Oracle. I was like, really, that was very inspirational to listen to them talk. So I was motivated. If they can do it, even I can do it. So that's one of the biggest motivation for me. And then as I was applying for jobs, tech companies and everywhere, a lot of rejections. You go through several rejections. There was a lot of screening program. Sometimes you get depressed. Oh, I'm applying for so many jobs. Why am I not able to get through anything? And then I focused on the local organizations like Sacramento and whatever the jobs, state jobs. And then I came across UC Davis positions. I applied for 3, and this is the job I got in our team. So that's how I got it. So there are organizations where they are there to help you. So I'm very happy that there are resources out there right now, several more than I started job hunting 3 years ago.
So you mentioned iRelaunch, the Mom Project, and there was one other one that you mentioned.
Women Back to Work.
Women Back to Work. So I'll make sure that I link those in the show notes as well. All right. So now bringing you to UC Davis, right? Let's talk a little bit about what you do now, and what you aspire to do as you move your career forward. So you've been here now, back to work, what, 3 years? Is it?
Almost August is going to be 3 years. Yeah, from August, yes. So currently I'm a business systems analyst. That's my title, but I do more than what the job description says. And I'm, as you know, that I work in process improvement, Lean Six Sigma, and I got certified in Lean Six Sigma, and I'm leading projects and facilitating sessions and trainings along with you and by myself. And I started doing a lot of outreach. As you said, I'm a community builder. I love to connect and talk and bring visibility to our team, the Office of Business Transformation. And I'm really proud of what we have done so far. We have done so many things since where I started, where our team was, now how much we have achieved. And we also have this lean community of practice going on in UC Davis in the culture of continuous improvement. And yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. So I wanted to talk a little bit about your certification. So you talked about being a certified Lean Six Sigma certified green belt. You've also gotten certified in strengths coaching. Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, sure. So as soon as I joined UC Davis, I would go to website training, the LMS and the UCLC Learning Center. It's called University of California Learning Center, LMS, Learning Management System, where you get to take trainings. So I used to take all whatever training they offered, I used to take in, and that's how I came across Fundamentals of Clifton Strengths training, the foundation, which is an amazing program where you get to know what your strengths are. I always, in interviews, I used to hate one question. An interview panel, if they ask me, what is your weakness? That's the most hated question. I don't like it because you don't ask a person what their weakness is and how are they going to talk more about their strengths. Why don't we focus on that? Why you have to pinpoint this, you're not good at this, you're not good at that. So strengths is all about that what you're good, unique. Every individual is unique. So I loved the training and I took it, and as I took the training, took that session, Clifton Strengths, and I knew what my top 5 strengths are. I'm a relator, includer, responsibility, restorative, and communication. These are my top 5 strengths. Also connection, positivity, everything is in my top 10. So I lead with relationship building. I'm a very strong people's person, so I'm a people leader. So I know the leadership styles are several leadership styles, but I'm a people leader. So if, some folks are suggested to do project. You're going to be a good project manager, or you can manage people. So, and this right now I did the coaching. I'm a Gallup certified strengths coach, and attended the training in-person training by Gallup last year in the UC Davis campus for a week, and then I took the exam. I coached several of them, and I took the certification exam. I passed. Now I'm a volunteer coach at UC Davis. It's really amazing when you work with clients, either it's a staff, faculty, or a student. They ask so many questions about how they can improve for themselves in their career or in their personal life. The amazing thing is you can use the strengths not just in your professional career, also in your personal life. So I've been doing that a lot. So when you know your strengths more, you get more confidence. So you can apply those skills in work or life. It goes both ways. So it's really empowering and making the individuals see their unique strengths and talents.
And then finally, I'm going to assume that you're going to be with us at UC Davis forever. As you see, I know that you've touched a lot of places in the administration. Is there a particular place you'd like to end up at the end of your career, or have you thought that far ahead?
I don't know. Probably I would love to be a director of communication. Some people engagement, outreach engagement, communication, just to have more collaboration, working directly with staff or faculty or students. So that would be an ideal job for me, I believe. And just to connect, building the bridges is what I do. I love to do that, and focusing more in-person work. I don't like remote work, to be very frank, because I like hybrid. So I love to come to our campus, as our job mostly is from working from home, and also it's a mix of coming to the campus, and it's both. So that's why I like campus. And I also say one more thing I want to add on to UC Davis is I always talk about my job as not what I don't work here. I'm studying here. Oh. Because I had so much. I had a long break, so I see this job as my opportunity to study and grow. So I don't see this as a work. Mm-hmm. So I love what I'm doing right now. It's my passion. It's everything put together. It's a complete package.
And that was my friend, Priya Venkatesan, sharing her return to work journey with us to simplify the returner experience for others. If you'd like more information about the resources Priya mentioned, please check out the show notes. And if you're enjoying this content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. This has been Bernadette Hill with Savage Simplicity, reminding you that to reclaim your time, you need to be savage.